Hey guys, today I'm going to be giving you book and movie recommendations based off whatever Spotify tells me is on my Wrapped. And this has been in the plans for me for like 2 months, but I've been so wrapped up in filming and editing and so much work that I forgot it was coming out today. So I've been off my phone for most of today. I went to go turn on some music and then the fucking Wrapped thing popped up. I got scared and I closed out of it right away. So now we're going to look at it actually together. But before we do that, I need to complain for a second. I'm sure that the same thing is going to happen this year as has been happening in the past. For the past 4 or 5 years, Spotify Wrapped has not worked properly for me. Every year so far, it has given me at least 1, usually 2 artists in my top 5 that it's not like, oh, I listen to them a little bit. It's people that I straight up do not listen to. I am convinced that there's someone else in my account somewhere mooching off of my premium subscription. So I'm assuming that I'm at least going to have some artists in there that don't actually pertain to me. I will give you an example. 2 years ago, I had Kanye West on my top 5 artists. Lord knows I have not been listening to Kanye West. 4 years ago, I had Taylor Swift on my top 5 artists, even though at that point I had only ever listened to 1 Taylor Swift song ever. So I can't wait to see what they give me this year, how much of it is going to be real and how much of it is going to be nonsense pulled from the depths of the internet. Also, the graphic design better be better this year than it was last year. I just remember everyone being really pissed off last year because everything was ugly. Okay. Hold on, let me make some guesses. I'm going to guess, like every single year, John Mayer is going to be my #1 artist. I listen to John Mayer every time I'm in the shower. So I get in the shower and my phone starts auto-playing a John Mayer playlist over the speakers in my bathroom. He's also great for road trips. He always winds up my #1. I assume a song called Ohema is going to be on my top list. I think that would be my #1. I've probably listened to that song 300 times over the past year. It's by an artist named Victoni. He's from Nigeria. I have been listening to a lot of Afro beats this year, but now that I'm in front of a camera, it's like I can't name a single song I've ever listened to. So let's just let Spotify tell us what's actually happening. Nope. Okay, we're ready for you, McKenna Bryn. Come on down. Please make it real this year. Oh. I can't listen to music when I'm reading. I can't listen to music when I'm editing. A lot of my friends have jobs where they can actually listen to music while they're doing things. I can't do that, so I only have 7,400 minutes. I listen to 326 genres. Folk pop? Afrobeats isn't even on here, and that is by far what I was listening to the most this year. Age is just a number, so don't take this personally. What? My listening age is 35. Okay, that's only a handful of years older than I actually am. I was into music from the late 2000s. Correct. You know what that is gonna be, actually? When I work out, I put a playlist on called 2000s stripper music. I listened to 1,450 songs this year. Can you guess your #1? My #1 is going to be Ohema by Victoni. Okay, Ohema's not even on here. I thought it was gonna be Venus. Honestly, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room is one of my favorite songs of all time, so that makes sense. Free Fall and Sticky, DtMF. Are these supposed to be my top 5? I definitely listened to that song more than See, this is what I'm talking about. Even when it gets the songs right, it gets the data wrong. I have listened to this song every single time I have taken a shower this year. I don't know. Is everyone else's correct and mine is the only one where they get the data wrong? My top songs: Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, makes sense, then Free Fallin'. Okay, again on the shower playlist. DtMF. I mean, we have been playing a lot of Bad Bunny in this house. Venus makes sense. Sticky, I guess, makes sense. I was listening to that song a whole lot when it first came out. I don't think enough this year for it to be on my top, though. And the fact that Ohema is not here is wrong. Like, definitively wrong. I listened to 12 albums this year? Are they just saying 12 albums all the way through? Swag by Justin. See, this is how I know this is bullshit. This is how I know this is bullshit. For me, at least. They don't have their data right. I did not listen to Swag by Justin Bieber. Me and my best friend attempted to listen to this album together. We got through 3 songs and then we turned it off because it's horrible. This is incorrect. Jesus Christ. You listened to 997 artists this year and these 5 were extra special. Bad Bunny, Doechii, Miley Cyrus, Sabrina Carpenter. Okay. I'm losing my I knew this was gonna happen. Sabrina Carpenter, I guess I understand why she's on there. I listened to her new album all the way through. I was gonna film a follow-up video. I didn't wind up doing that. Miley Cyrus? I don't think I've listened to a single Miley Cyrus song in 3 years. What is Start My Race? We know it's gonna be John Mayer. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm a 0.4% global fan. I hope he never sees this video. I haven't listened to a Miley Cyrus song, I'm gonna guess, since 2022. Okay, whatever. I need to get through this so I can choose books and movies for recommendations. What club do I belong to? I don't know. Tell me. Cloud State Society. Your club finds peace through music. What did that say? Given a houseplant? I often save music to my library. Yeah, I do. I know. Okay, Cloud State Society. I find peace through music and new initiates are given a houseplant. Okay. I can recommend books based on that, I guess. Do I need to reset my Spotify? Is that what it is? If you're not ready for rap, I'm f***ing ready for rap to be over. We pulled some of your files just in scene files? October 20th, 2025, the day you threw a 2000s club party at 3 a.m. Through the night, you spun the entire 2000s stripper music playlist. What the f did I tell you? Waka Flocka, Ying Yang Twins, 50 Cent and Eminem traded verses with Britney Spears and Justice for a late night detour. By dawn, Celine Dion closed out the set. Absolutely. Wow, they got me spot on. This was in fact the day that I threw a house party and there were people in my house screaming until sunrise. Am I done now? Challenge your friends to a real-time listening battle. No. Oh, I guess that's it. So that was just as stupid as I thought it was gonna be. That was, I guess, less nonsensical than it has been in, like, the Kanye West year. That was insane. I not only haven't listened to Kanye West in so many years because of, you know, all of the everything, I actively have him blocked on Spotify. His music cannot even come up in a random shuffle on a random playlist. The fact that he came up in, was it 2023? Maybe? Insane. What do I do? If anyone has Spotify connections, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll be right back with book and movie recommendations based on whatever the f that just was. So the first thing Spotify told me is that my listening age was 35. The recommendation that makes the most sense there for me is to give you a recommendation for a book and a movie that are both 35 years old. It turns out that the only book that I own that came out in the year 1990 is A Natural History of the Senses by Diane Ackerman. This is a book that I have been reading slowly over the past 15 years, I would say. You're not supposed to read this book all in one go, not by a fucking long shot. This is poetry in the form of prose. This is long paragraphs. What was that? Only elephants should wear ivory. This is long, beautiful prose about the natural history of the senses. It's called an aphrodisiac for the sense receptors. Read a chapter, then step outside and voila, the sky is a deeper blue, the birds sing a sweeter song. How could the world seem otherwise after feasting on voluptuous prose like this? And the movie I chose to go along with this for 1990 is of course Edward Scissorhands, although there is also Tremors, which was in fact the first scary movie I ever saw in my entire life. I was 3 years old. I was way too young to be watching Tremors, but I did. I was told that my #1 song of the year was Slow Dancin' in a Burning Room, but I'm going to give recommendations for all 5 of my top songs. If you love the song Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer, which is about the slow decline of a long-term relationship, and you want an almost one-to-one recommendation for books, I suggest you read either Normal People by Sally Rooney, about a relationship that never gets quite on course, or Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, in which the burning room is the life and death of a child via the Black Plague. I could choose so many movies that line up with Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, the slow end to a relationship. You still love each other, but you know that you're coming to the end of what you have. Or you love each other, but nothing ever seems like it can go quite right. There are so many options for this, but I'm gonna go with the entire Before trilogy, After Sun, We Live in Time, and Call Me By Your Name. My second song on that list is Free Fallin', which is obviously a cover of the Tom Petty song, and the actual song is about a man who leaves his girlfriend for the hopes of a better life. He leaves her behind in their small town. He goes to Los Angeles to become famous and cultivate a good life for himself. Of course, he doesn't know that that's going to happen, so he takes a leap. And so for a while, he's free fallen. So I have chosen a small stack of books here about people who have taken a leap. A leap into the great unknown, a leap away from what might have been a good life towards what will hopefully be a better life. That includes This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone, leaping away from a life with an agency towards a life of love. A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, a book about leaping away from a good solid life as a tea monk to find what your actual purpose is. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, a book about learning that the life that you're in is the best one and trying really hard, fighting tooth and nail to get back to it. Slewfoot by Brahm, about a woman who wasn't satisfied with her life and took a big leap to get to a very different place. The Every Heart a Doorway series by Shauna Maguire, which is about many different people who all take leaps to find better worlds than the ones they were born into. The Giver by Lois Lowry, which is about a boy who lives in a quote-unquote utopian society who makes a leap to try and find a better world for their little sibling. Into the Wild by John Krakauer, about a man who didn't believe in the way that our society works and his place within it and took a leap to make a different life out in the wild. And Nowhere for Very Long by Brianna Madia, a memoir from a woman who, kind of like Chris McCandless, didn't believe in the direction that society was pushing her in and so took a leap to create a different life for herself. And I only have 2 movie recommendations for this one, but they are the ultimate take a leap movies, and I believe those 2 would be The Truman Show and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, 2 of my favorite movies of all time. Third on the list is DtMF by Bad Bunny, which translates roughly to I Wish I Had Taken More Photos. And it's a song about grief and missing people who are now gone and wishing that you had stopped to savor your time with that person, wishing you had taken more photos, wishing you had more memories to look back on. And so I have a big pile of books that have to do with grief. We have Grief for a Family Member, A Son in Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, Grief for a Father in Whale Fall by Daniel Kraus, Grief for a Wife in I Cheerfully Refuse by Leif Enger, Grief for Another Wife in Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield, Grief for a Son in Monstrillo by Gerardo Samano Cordova, Grief for a Grandparent in Miss Ice Sandwich by Miyako Kawakami, Grief for Parents in What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, Grief for a Husband in My Steve or Steve and Me, depending on what country you live in, by Terry Irwin, Grief for Family in When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vita Kelly, and Grief for the Natural World at Large in The Island of Last Things by Emma Slowly, and Ocean, Earth's Last Wilderness by David Attenborough, which is in fact the best nonfiction of the year. I don't care what Goodreads says. This is a book you should be reading. And obviously I have a whole lot of recommendations for movies about grief, but I'm going to narrow it down to P.S. I Love You, After Sun, About Time, Interstellar, and Stand By Me. That feels like a good solid handful of grief movies. And now we are getting out of the serious songs and into something like Venus, which is a party song by NSG and Livia. Venus is about love at first sight, or at the very least lust at first sight. It's about seeing a hottie on the dance floor and immediately knowing you have to spend either the night or the rest of your life with them. And so my book recommendations for this are A Midsummer Night's Dream by Willie Shakespeare himself, a play I always think about when I think about hedonism and finding someone to love for the night. Fate's Bane by C.L. Clarke, in which 2 women fall in love at first sight. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Ossaman, in which 2 men fall in something at first sight. Love, lust, I don't know. And the most yearning book of them all, Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth, in which 2 girls pine for each other in ways you will never have seen before. And for yearning, pining, love or lust at first sight movies, I'm gonna go with Call Me By Your Name and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Easy. Before Sunrise, obviously. Pride and Prejudice. Also, I'll throw Atonement on there even though I haven't actually seen it, but I'll get to it soon, and I've heard there's a lot of yearning in it. My 5th and final song on this list was Sticky by Tyler the Creator, Glorilla, Sexy Red. And while the title, Sticky, might make it seem like it's just a sexual song, it's actually about confidence That's what I'm gleaning from it. The whole song is about how I'm so great and I'm better than you and therefore I'm gonna win. Confidence to the extreme. And who on earth is more confident than Dorothy Daniels in A Certain Hunger, a food critic who starts killing and eating the men that she loves, at least 2 out of 3 of the characters in Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, undying toxic lesbian vampires throughout the centuries, the most badass of women, anyone that Madeline Miller writes, Circe and Galatea specifically, and perhaps the most confident woman I have ever read about in any book, and that would be Aelin from Throne of Glass, whole series. And movie recommendations for the most confident of main characters. The movies I didn't plan out like the books I had to get in piles. The movies, by the way, I'm doing off the top of my head, so if anyone has more movies to add to these categories, please let me know. So when I think about confident movie characters, I think of Ferris Bueller from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Marty McFly from Back to the Future, Jennifer from Jennifer's Body, Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, Alien, Kill Bill, Hunger Games. Oh, Ready or Not? Is that the movie? Yeah, Ready or Not with Samara Weaving. I'm gonna throw Treasure Planet and Atlantis in there because I haven't talked about Treasure Planet or Atlantis yet in this video and it felt wrong. Next, I was given my top 5 artists, and I know that at least a few of these are wrong, if not nearly all of them, but I'm gonna go with the list anyways. And for each of these 5 artists, I'm going to recommend 1 book and 1 movie to that artist. A book that I wish that artist would read, and a movie I wish that artist would watch. And John Mayer is number 1. And for the first time in this video, first and last, I'm recommending him a book that I haven't read yet. One of the reasons that I love John Mayer's music, I know you can call me basic, I don't give a f. I love his music. And a big reason is that he has the same phobia that I do. He and I are both afraid of the passage of time. Deep, dark, existential dread in both of us. And so I want to suggest that he reads the same book that I have been putting off because I know it's going to change my life or trigger my existential dread or all of the above. And that is Agua Viva by Clarice Lispector. It is 88 short pages, I think. So John, if you're watching this, we can read together. We can start our own little 2-person book club. Also, John, if you're watching this, let's see. John Mayer, I challenge you to watch Big Fish and After Sun. I hope you've already watched both of them, but if not, please go watch Big Fish and After Sun and then report back right here. Sabrina Carpenter's music is horny, funny, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and for that reason I want to say I would recommend any romantasy that doesn't take itself too seriously. And so I'm putting up Quicksilver by Callie Hart. It was easy to grab off the shelf, and Brimstone is on my mind this week. So Sabrina, that's for you. A little Quicksilver in your life. What movies, okay, Sabrina Carpenter, the movies that I want you to watch. What feels right for you? The Before trilogy, and Sinners. That feels kind of perfect. The Before trilogy for the romantic side of you, Sinners for the sexy side of you. Also 2 of my favorite movies of all time, Before Sunrise and Sinners. Yeah, that feels right. Big Fish and After Sun for John Mayer, the Before trilogy, and Sinners for Sabrina Carpenter. I'm doing well so far. I feel confident in whatever the f has happened here. Next is Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is a very proud Puerto Rican man. He has proven time and time again that he is an ally. So I'm going to suggest he reads When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vita Kelly. This is about a Puerto Rican man who moves to New York and starts working in a circus on Coney Island, where he accidentally helps catch a merman, and then he falls in love with said merman. And Bad Bunny, what movie do I think that you should watch? He's gonna want something with depth to it, you know what? I wanted to watch Come On, Come On. Let's pull one out that I haven't mentioned yet. If you don't know what Come On, Come On is, at least look it up. It's fully in black and white. It's Joaquin Phoenix. It's an emotion tugger. Holy shit. So Bad Bunny, if you are watching this, please watch Come On, Come On. Thank you. Number 4 on this list, although this is the one that's absolutely not supposed to be there, Miley Cyrus. Miley, I love you. You're not supposed to be on this list, but I do in fact love you. And for that reason, I'm going to recommend that you read Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth. Miley sings a lot about childhood. She sings a lot about growing up. She's also a part of the queer community, and I believe that she would have an amazing time with the ultimate gay yearning coming of age book. And recommending a movie from Miley Cyrus. Okay, I have 2 movies. Miley Cyrus, if you are watching this, I would like you to watch Stand By Me and either Moulin Rouge or Romeo and Juliet, one of the big overstimulating Baz Luhrmann movies. Probably Moulin Rouge, although also Romeo and Juliet is my preferred movie. Last but not least on the, well, technically least on this list, we have Doechii. Doechii absolutely deserves something with a little more depth for the book. And I think she'd also appreciate the cultural aspects of On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I know that Doechii has gone on a journey in her life to get to where she is, and I think she'd enjoy reading about the journey that Little Dog's family has to go on. And in keeping in line with journeys, Doechii, if you're watching this, I would really like you to watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And I know I've recommended that movie like 3 times now throughout the video, but just I want everyone to watch it. Spotify also told me I was part of the Cloud State Society. Your club finds peace through music. New members are gifted houseplants. And so what I'm gifting to the rest of my society, to the rest of my little club here, 3 books, all having to do at least somewhat with plants. We have The Butcher of the Forest by Premi Mohammed, about a woman who has to wander into a very dangerous, deadly forest. Forest has plants. We have Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. Lots of eco-weirdness in here. Something has come and taken over a part of the US, and it doesn't seem to be from this earth. And last but certainly not least, I have a book of poetry by Mary Oliver called Devotions. Most likely will be one of the most beautiful books of poetry that you will ever read in your entire life. Mary Oliver passed away a few years ago, but she was a woman who was very in touch with nature and her surroundings, and so much of her poetry has to do with the natural world. As for movies that have to do with plants or plant matter, I mean, Annihilation, obviously, Little Shop of Horrors, obviously, that's not very peaceful, but plants. Alice in Wonderland has plants. The Martian, he grows plants on Mars. Oh, Ferngully. Ferngully, absolutely. You know what? Shrek. He lives in a swamp. And also Hamnet. Go see Hamnet if you haven't seen it yet. Lots of plant life in Hamnet. Also, Agnes is a little bit of a garden witch, so she's always using plants to make her little potions and stuff. And last but not least, Spotify told on me for throwing a house party until sunrise in October, and talked about me playing my 2000s stripper music and then having it end at sunrise in Celine Dion. So, the book that I'm gonna recommend for that is My Story, My Dream, Celine Dion's autobiography, and the movies I will be recommending are Project X and I Am Celine Dion, the Celine Dion documentary. Those feel like the most obvious choices. You could also watch Get Rich or Die Trying, the 50 Cent movie. I don't think the Yin Yang Twins were in a movie. Oh, Eminem, you could watch 8 Mile. I haven't seen 8 Mile, but you could. That's it. Was this cohesive? Did this make any sense to you? I hope that I gave you good recommendations. And if you have anything else that could fit in any of the categories that I talked about, please let us all know. If you want to let us know what movies you would recommend to John Mayer, Doechii, Miley Cyrus, Bad Bunny, or Sabrina Carpenter, if you want to do this with your own artists in the comments, let us know. I think it'd be fun to do a whole video recommending books and movies to famous people, but I would have to find really good reasons behind it. I gotta go edit. Thank you for being here with me throughout whatever the this was. I think I blacked out a little bit. I don't really remember anything I just said to you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you very soon. I hope you're having a wonderful December. If you can hear me, if you can read the subtitles, I love you. Bye.